Hi, and welcome to Orion's Team Telly, episode 1 of Mission 2. So we are back. We welcome you back, and we hope you had a beautiful transition into 2025. And yeah, we would like to share a few bits with you today. And so these being a little energy update from David, and then we shall talk about the mission number 2. What does it entail? And yeah, and then we will go, of course, into the details about that, about what we know so far, and share all that with you. So, yeah.
So it's pretty exciting for me, this mission. I believe this is the second of 3 missions that we're going to be doing together if you wish to continue to participate. And of course, this is where it gets really exciting. So we've laid in place into the 12 chakra system of planet Earth the template from Orion for the new human. And that is now bubbling away, and it's helping to produce more spiritual energy on this planet than there has been in, well, at least in the last 2000 years. So that's where we're at, energetically, as a baseline before we begin this second experiment in ascension. That's the word that they're giving me to use, that we are taking part in an experiment in a rapid, accelerated process of progress, for humanity on a planet in our galaxy. And so they're preparing, or we're preparing. So this is where it gets tricky to explain, because the beings of light are here. And also physically, there are 12 star civilizations that are awaiting to help our planet begin its ascension process. Now, they are here physically, and emotionally and mentally, and in any way that you can imagine, they are here to support us. So when we talk about building a new civilization, and when we describe the template that's going to underlay that new civilization, it's important to imagine that this has been contributed to by 12 different stellar families of light. And those stellar families of light, they exist within our quadrant of the galaxy. And each of them has provided their information, their laws, parts of their religions, um, their their codes, their ascension protocols. I don't even know where to end with what's being provided and what's inside of this new template for our new civilization. But we will be guided to insert this template into the 12 chakra system of planet Earth over the next 2 or 3 months.
Yeah.
Would you like to say a bit more about that?
Well, we did start with Gozo, as we do, because we live here. So we were given the new template on the 21st of December 2024 for Gozo, and Malta followed the next day. And then, as we did in the first mission, we had a sort of a trial implementation for Turkey, which is the base chakra. We did that on the 24th and the 25th of January. Now, this provided a lot of clarity for us on the process for mission number 2, because it has changed, as has the template, so did the process. We started on the 24th of January with Turkey by, first of all, sort of correcting terrible English, but fixing the energies. You had a nice way of putting that.
Yeah, well, what we saw was that there was a bridge on the western side of Turkey, which energetically, it's like the western side of Turkey was not connected into the west.
Yeah.
So the east had been connected and energy flowed from Persia and from the east into Turkey, but it was like it was trapped there. There was no freedom for the energy to move on into the west of the planet.
So yeah, it turned out that there was like you can imagine it like a big cable just flapping around, and there was no connection. So basically the cable needed plugging in, and then the energies could flow freely. So that's what we did on the 24th of January. And we then had to, I mean, we expected to do the implementation of the template on the 24th, but that was what had to precede this process. So we then did the implementation of the template a day after. So we are suspecting that this is what we're going to do for the second mission, that we will have to be in each country twice to first do some healing work and so that everything can flow freely and the energies are all fluffy and then we come back the next day to implement the template. So yeah,
That seems pretty straightforward.
that seems pretty straightforward, yes.
And we found with Turkey, as soon as we made that change to the chakra, so Mark was in Turkey as our anchor, and he
Yeah.
found the energies automatically they shifted. And the next day there was strange, you could call it strange weather and clear skies, something Mark's only ever seen twice now in 18 months, and a storm during the day, which never occurs. So it's interesting. And if you follow the history of Turkey, it's really had a trouble connecting with the West politically and ideologically. Um, so the way we think it works is we're correcting. So with the first mission, we're assigning the template into the ideal locations for an ascending planet. That's a change from the chakra system that we had in the previous reality. And we'll come and talk about how the previous reality is morphing into the new reality in a minute. But these 12 chakra systems are now, it's really important that we align them or calibrate them. So that's the first day. It may only take 40 minutes. I don't think it might takes longer than that. And then we have a similar length the next day to implement the template into the chakra once it's been properly realigned. Because they were all left out of alignment for the previous reality to exist in such a terrible existence that we've all suffered for thousands and thousands of years. The chakra system had to be not the ideal one, and everything had to be misaligned. So what we're doing really is just correcting on behalf of the gods. That's why Babaji is guiding us. They're correcting what was intentionally left the way it's been.
Yeah.
Hmm. So would you like to know the list of countries? So I imagine most of you have already taken part in the mission. You know the countries, but we did Gozo, we've done Turkey. Now we're going to go to Brazil next, which is the Earth Star. And they want us to begin in Brazil this time. Then we know we are going to go to Russia and then China. So we've got as far as that in a program, and we'll go week by week from Brazil to Russia to China over 3 weeks. And then the other countries, not in any particular list order, is the USA, Norway, Germany, South Africa, Nepal, India, and Egypt. I'm sure Egypt will be final. All activations on this planet lead to Egypt. So we'll be there for the final chakra activation. Um, and you know the dates better than I do. But
Yeah, I do, but I was gonna leave the dates for the end. And didn't you want to say something about the energies?
yes, so there's 12 galactic star nations providing, if you can visualize it as I'm terrible at geometry phrases, but it's a dodecahedron in the middle. It's a 12-sided shape with pentagonal sides. And on top of each pentagonal side is a square-based pyramid. So there are 12 square-based pyramids that form this star. Yeah.
It's what we use at a profile picture now.
It's kind of like that. I don't know how good AI is at representing things sometimes. So it is what it is, and we hope it works. The profile picture. So there is this 12 dimensional entity, which is I can't get my head around that. But each time we put it into one of the 12 chakras, and each time we realign one of those earth chakras, Earth is going to shake. Like it's going to change things much more quickly than what we did with the last mission for the template for the human. This is going to cause much more
Oh
trouble
God.
for people because energies are going to alter across the planet simultaneously as we go through this work. I mean, the astrology is really interesting. We were guided to start this process in Turkey on the 24th of January. Um, and then the 25th, when we did the activation, we actually began the call to do the activation at kind of 4:04 p.m. Central European time, which is exactly the time that we had the alignment of the planets in the sky. So we seem to be in divine alignment with the work we're doing. So as we go through the chakras of the planet and we align all the major chakras and we allow the template to be applied, something's going to shift and it's going to be quite monumental. What they're telling me is every single soul in every single nation on this planet, their soul is going to be magnetized once this template is in the chakra system. So sometime in or around July or August, every single soul on this planet, their souls be magnetized. What that means, I'm not entirely sure. But I know what I had to do is I had to go and find my soul and connect with it. What I How I can see it is that if your soul is magnetized, it's like it's going to be pulling you into it, which is very well. I think that's going to form a large part of what's going to change this year.
So that's beautiful. That's
Yeah.
some ascension assistance there. So yeah. Um did you want to continue or
I'm just checking in. So Thoth gave us. We wrote a Galactic Times. You may or may not have seen it, and we published that on the 31st of December. And what he said to us was between, mhm, well, the 24th of December last year, there was a square, wasn't it, between Jupiter and Saturn. And the 3 days surrounding that, the Earth plane, so the plane of existence that we existed on, shattered. And so that very narrow experience of the human existence on this planet has gone. And what he's saying is effectively now each of us has been shattered into maybe small groups of people that we're part of and communicating with. Um, but we haven't got the same way of life now. That's what he's saying. We have the possibility of infinite depth, and in a way that we never had access to infinite depth. We are passing through this tiny portal, and we're just poking out the other side now. And we've been in this very flat plane of existence. And as we poke out, we move up just into the infinite. Each of us is going through this process of shattering. Um, that's the word we were given to describe it. So some of us have been feeling dislocated from our family or our friends or our jobs, the countries we live in. And the thing to remember is the dislocation is really, it's not between us and those things, it's between us and what used to be. That's the dislocation if we are struggling with and that kind of feeling. So as we move through this process, there's around a 6-month window now. So you can imagine the breath out. So there was a shattering. And as we breathe out and move into our separate spaces, we are allowed to, by the energetics, come together in particular groups. That's the words that they are suggesting I use here. That we're allowed, we shouldn't have to make any effort to find the people that we're supposed to congregate with at this time. That's part of the process as we breathe out. And then we start to breathe in. And as we breathe in, this reality that we used to have that was thin will reform, only it's going to be a bit thicker now because we've all had time to get a bit more depth to our lives. And as we go through this process of breathing out and breathing in, breathing out and breathing in, the reality we had will begin to thicken and deepen and deepen and deepen until we can really start to feel the other dimensions. And when we can feel the other dimensions, it's quite possible for people from the other dimensions to come here. So that seems to be the process that we are facilitating as part of Orion's team.
Yeah, thank you for sharing all this beautiful information. I definitely felt disconnected, sort of lost or something, waking up on Christmas Day or something. So I do remember that, and it does come back as it does. It comes in waves. So yeah, from time to time, it's just like what's happening? Like especially the human obviously is like and then it comes back. We come back together. Um, yeah. So that's that so far. We have a first date. We will start on the 20th of February 2025 and start with Brazil and then see how it evolves from there. So prepare yourselves for 2 days per country, one country per week. So it's a Thursday again. You might still be used to the Thursday and the 20th of February. And then it would be the Friday after then. But the time like spent is shorter, mm, or it seems to be. So yeah, we look forward to seeing you. Question to the anchors: are you up for it? Do you want to repeat that? Like being an anchor if you still are in Russia, in the USA. We look forward to having you holding space, being there with us to this wonderful transition period to heal the planet Sophia for a better home to live in. Thank you and see you soon.